So guys, if you can, please subscribe to the channel, please like this video, and please share this with everyone so everyone gets to know what the verdict was with regards to this case. So guys, a new story has just come in, and a career criminal drug dealer has been found guilty of murdering the innocent 9-year-old schoolgirl Olivia Pratt-Korbel in a cold-blooded hit gone wrong. Thomas Cashman pursued his intended victim, a rival Joseph Nee, and he attempted to assassinate this man. But as he towered over a begging knee on Olivia Street in Liverpool just before 10 o'clock, his Glock handgun malfunctioned. It sparked a disastrous chain of events that saw Nee flee, pursued by Cashman, who was armed with 2 guns. His attempts to kill him at all costs then went horribly wrong when Olivia's mother, Cheryl Corbel, opened the front door after hearing loud bangs. The 36-year-old Nee tried to force his way into the house after he saw a light shining in there, and Cashman then followed him behind and opened fire. He put his hand behind the door and he started shooting, and that's when he struck Miss Corbel in the hand. The bullet had travelled through her and hit young Olivia in the chest as she ran downstairs saying, "Mum, I'm scared." Armed police rushed the youngster to hospital, but she was pronounced dead a short time later. Cashman had tried to hoodwink the jury at Manchester Crown Court during the lengthy trial, lying that he had been somewhere else smoking a spliff and counting £10,000 when the murder was happening. Relief was sounded throughout the courtroom from a devastated family today. The callous ruthlessness of a killer was plain to see in his police-issued mugshot. Believed that the sheer bravery of the prosecution's star witness, whose identity can never be revealed, who had a relationship with him that was key in convicting him. She revealed that he had come to her house after the shooting when she heard him say he had done Joey. The woman said she had now left Liverpool but was still terrified of giving evidence against Cashman, but had chosen to do so because a child had died. She said, "When there's a little girl involved, there's no form of grassing in my world. Because of this little girl, I just feel like if he was any sort of man, he would just own it. I can't believe he's making her family go through this. It's a child. It's a child. They all should be ashamed of themselves who are supporting him as well." She told the jury, "I was petrified of speaking in the first couple of interviews. I was woken up that night by a guy doing a dreadful thing and putting my life in danger. I was petrified to speak about Tommy. I've got to come home. He's going to want to see me. What have I been speaking about? I was mortified. I've been put in this situation. I don't know what my life would hold in the next few years."
You're under arrest on suspicion of murder and a suspicion of attempt murder twice. You do not have to say anything, but it may always defend you don't mention my question. Something which you may later lie in the court. Anything you do say may be given as evidence. You've been arrested for the prompt and effective realization of the offence. Okay? Okay?
Yeah, well, I haven't committed no offence. I haven't committed no offence what you're talking about.
Alright. Lift them up a little minute.
None whatsoever. Got nothing on me. Just pull my pants down, you'll see. There's nothing here. Saves all the messing around.
John, what's happening is the other lad's getting dealt with, and then we'll get you up, okay?
Oh. These people. These girls. I ain't resisting.
What?
I'm not resisting one little bit. I'm calm. It's you that don't seem a little bit too calm.
So Cashman had denied murdering Olivia. The attempted murder of Mr. Nee, wounding with intent to do GBH to Olivia's mother, and 2 counts of possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life. At the time of the killing, he had said he was smoking a spliff and counting £10,000 in cash. He said, "I hold my hands up, I'm a drug dealer. I'm not a bad drug dealer who sells Class A drugs. I don't do anything bad." When he was shown a CCTV clip of a gunman shooting Nee on the evening of August the 22nd last year, he had lied, saying, "It's not me." He previously told the court he earns up to £5,000 a week selling cannabis. Cashman also claimed to have been friends with Nee the alleged intended target, who jurors were told had enemies and had been shot back in 2018, so Nee had enemies. The trial had opened with the nightmarish moment Olivia was killed by the gunman. A mother was at home with her 3 children and neighbours when she heard a noise and went outside to have a look. Nee ran towards her house because he saw the light and the gun was in pursuit. David McLaughlin KC said that Cheryl Korbel then realised pretty quickly the gravity of the situation that she now faced, and she turned in a panic and ran back towards her house. She tried to close her door, but it did not fully close, the jury was told. The court heard Nee run up the driveway of the Korbel's home and began banging on the door and shouting, "Help me, help me." Prosecutor told the jury Miss Korbel said she was screaming at him to go away. She said, "I heard the gunshot and then realised I felt it hit my hand." Prosecutor said she then turned round and saw Olivia. She said, "I remember when I turned round and realised the baby was right behind me because she'd come down, obviously, down the stairs because she'd heard what was happening." Olivia's brother Ryan said she had run downstairs screaming, "Mum, I'm scared." Miss Korbel was then described as being at the top of the stairs with Olivia saying, "Stay with me, baby." The court heard Joseph Nee enter the home of Olivia Pratt-Korbel's family, and the gunman was able to get his hand around the side of the door and fire again with the bullet lodging in the internal door frame. The prosecutor said the shooter then ran off and Nee stumbled outside the house, where he was picked up in a car and taken to hospital. Armed officers attended and Olivia was taken to Alder Hey Children's Hospital, where she was pronounced dead, the court heard. Once again, I just want to say rest in peace, Olivia, and my condolences go out to your family. So Merseyside's Chief Constable Serena Kennedy has described Cashman as a coward. She said he's despicable. He made great play in the trial, that he's a dad and yet he put Olivia's family through this trial. I hope he reflects every morning when he wakes up behind bars and every night when he goes to sleep about what he's put Olivia's family through. In a separate trial, another man had admitted to driving Cashman away from an address where he fled after the shooting and disposed of his clothing. So Paul Russell pleaded guilty to assisting an offender at Liverpool Crown Court last October. So he's also said to have disposed of a bag given to him by Cashman, which he believed to contain clothing. Detective Superintendent Mark Baker, the senior investigating officer in the case, said the circumstances around it were just abhorrent. She was cowering behind her mum because she was scared in her own home. You always feel you're safe in your own house. I think as an investigation team, we could not believe that the gunman would continue to shoot into the house. I don't think we've ever seen anything like that before. The community has been disgusted by his actions. They've been in fear of him for a long time. He will know himself and will have to carry that responsibility. The jury was also shown a video of the police interviews with Miss Korbel, in which she recounted what happened that night and described the moment she knew Olivia had gone. Cashman denied he was the gunman that night and told police, "You've got an innocent man," when he was arrested a month later. Giving evidence to the jury, he said that he was going about his business as a drug dealer. He says, "I'm a dad, I'm not a killer." The 2 firearms used by the gunman on the night in August last year have not been recovered, and the investigation into Olivia's death continues. Police have said they vow to continue to remove guns and drugs from the street. And Detective Baker said Olivia's death should not have been in vain. Maria Kaur, the senior Crown prosecutor with the CPS Mersey Cheshire Complex Casework Unit, stated, "We're only a small wheel in the cog here. Nothing will bring Olivia back. This is just for the family, some sense of justice. The person who ruined their lives, we've now got justice for them." At the time of her death, Olivia's family described her as a unique, chatty, nosy little girl who broke the mould when she was born, and they added she loved life and had it all to offer. Although her life was short, her personality certainly wasn't, and she lived it to the most she could and would blow people away with her wit and kindness. So guys, these are the verdicts. Thomas Cashman is guilty of the murder of Olivia Pratt-Korbel. He's guilty of the attempted murder of Joseph Nee. He's guilty of wounding Cheryl Korbel with intent to cause GBH. He's also guilty of possessing a self-loading pistol with intent to endanger life. And he's also guilty of possessing a revolver with intent to endanger life. Justice Yip addressed the court today and said, "Clearly, this means I will be required to sentence the defendant. However, I'm not going to do that immediately. There is somebody else who will fall to be sentenced. It hasn't been possible to report until now, but Paul Russell has been convicted of assisting an offender." Justice Yip thanked the jury for their diligent service. He said, "We have been extremely fortunate. All 12 of you have been diligent throughout the trial." Justice Yip suggested they may wish to release some of the emotion they had kept in check during the trial and recommended seeking support if they needed to. She excused the jurors from service again, and Cashman's going to be sentenced on Monday alongside Paul Russell. So guys, this is a new story coming in. Once again, I just want to say rest in peace, Olivia, and my condolences go out to your family. It's your boy GC. Keep it locked, keep it real.